inspired by Rumi's tale of the elephant in the dark. There's an ancient story Rumi tells in his Masnavi, a story that reveals one of the greatest traps of the human mind, a lie we all fall for again and again. So let's begin there. Long ago, an elephant was brought to a distant town, a place where no one had ever seen such a creature before. But the animal wasn't out in the open. It was kept inside a room, completely dark. No candles, no sunlight, nothing. The people of the town were curious. They wanted to see this strange beast with their own eyes. But when they entered the room, they couldn't see anything. So what did they do? They reached out and began to feel the elephant with their hands. One man touched the trunk and said, "Oh, now I get it. The creature is long and curved, just like a water spout." Another touched the ear and said, "No, this is more like a fan, soft, flapping." A third felt the leg. It's strong and firm like a pillar. Clearly, it's shaped like a tree trunk. And someone else laid a hand on the back. "What are you all talking about? This thing is flat and wide, like a throne." Each one was so certain, so confident. Each one thought they had the truth. But none of them had seen the whole picture. They were all in the dark. And so they argued. They defended their version of reality. But in truth, they weren't describing the elephant. They were just describing the part they had touched. Rumi then recites the tale in Persian. The elephant was in a darkened house, brought for display by the men of India. People came in crowds to see it, but since the room was dark, they used their hands. One grabbed the trunk and said, "This creature's like a drain pipe." One felt the ear and said, "No, it's more like a fan." One touched the leg and said, "It's a column, sturdy and tall." One touched the back and said, "Obviously, it's a platform, wide and flat." Each person understood only the part they touched, and spoke of that as if it were the whole. So their words were different, even opposite, like someone calling a thing Dal, while another says Aleph. But Rumi concludes with a line full of wisdom. If each hand had held a candle, there'd be no disagreement in what they saw. This is not just a story about an elephant. It's about us. It's about the way the human mind works. We see only a small slice of reality, filtered through our past, our wounds, our culture, our thoughts, but we call it truth. We claim to know. We argue. We judge. We divide. But none of us is seeing the whole elephant. That's what the ego does. It clings to fragments and calls them facts. That's what the unobserved mind does. It lives in a dark room, mistaking shadows for truth. But awareness is like a candle. The more light we bring in, the less we argue, the less we judge, the more we understand, not just others, but ourselves. If this message stirred something inside you, don't let it stop here. Pass it on. Shine a little light for someone still in the dark.